Financial literacy is super important. Unless we're taught about it in school or have had a conversation with our parents, we're pretty much on our own. And people assume that once you have a job, you must be financially literate and secure. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. Many people still live paycheck to paycheck, not knowing how to handle their money. Welcome to my channel. In our first episode today, we're going to discuss what are the top 5 decisions you can take right now to be among the top 2% and on your way to gain financial freedom. The first decision to take is to set up an emergency fund. As the name suggests, it is to be used only for emergencies. If you're in a very stable job and you know exactly where your next paycheck is coming from, then I'd recommend you save up to 3 months of your monthly expenses. Now, these include the non negotiables, the necessities. So, say your rent, your utilities, food, groceries, etc., constitutes as part of this. But say you're in between jobs or switching it up, then definitely try to save at least 6 months worth of monthly expenses. So if you're self-employed or you have a family dependent on you, do try at least 1 year of monthly expenses saved up. Now, more than just emergencies, this fund gives you the strength and the confidence to walk away from really bad situations, whether it be a toxic relationship or a toxic boss or a manager at work. In order to walk away from things that no longer serve you responsibly and to be more financially responsible, you need to have this fund set up. It really does give you that confidence and strength to walk away, build a new life if need be, and for that you do need financial backup. Since this is an emergency fund, you need to make sure that this is highly accessible to you in cases of emergencies. So it cannot be tied up in an FD or in real estate or in the stock market. It has to be readily available. It needs to be highly liquid, cash lying around. It has to be saved up and needs to be really accessible to you so that you can make that withdrawal when you need to. The next decision to take, and some would even argue the first, is to know your numbers. So open that bank apps, open your bank statements, understand your numbers. How much are you bringing in? How much are you able to save? Exactly what are you spending on? Do you have any debts, loans, credit cards due? All of this will help you understand your starting position. Now, knowing this is very crucial because then you get to plan, budget, map out the rest of your progress towards financial independence. In order to do that, you need to know where you are right now. The most important decision to take is insurance. Now, there will be two that I'd give importance to. One is your life insurance, and one is your health insurance. When I talk about life, I mean purely term insurance. They give you the highest payout and the highest financial security to your family at the time of loss. The second is health insurance, especially living in a country like India, where medical inflation is through the roof and you cannot rely on your hard earned savings to support you in times of these crises. So, go through great policies, comprehensive policies, and while I'll cover a couple of very important points to note, I will dedicate an entire video just on health insurance because that's exactly how important it is. While there are so many points to note in a good comprehensive health insurance policy, let me at least cover 2 to 3 key points here. The first one I would check is your co-pay option. What that basically means is you've agreed to pay a certain percentage out of your pockets for paying less premiums for these treatments. Now, this is the worst that you can do. They will charge you, I think, 20 to 30% of copay. For what? To pay a little bit less premiums. We're talking about a difference of a couple of thousands in premiums and lakhs when it comes to treatments, especially when you live in a country such as India, which has a medical inflation going through the roof. Do not do this. Be careful. Check your policy wordings very carefully to check, do you have copay? Does your parents have copay? Check that first. Now, say you do. What do you do next? Is to get on a call with your agent, your insurance company, whoever it is, and try to see if you can change that for a higher premium, of course. Or if they're not being helpful in that regard, I'd say port your policy, change it. Yes, because this is a very important thing to look for. Another thing to check is if your policy says cashless or reimbursement option. What are the type of hospitals that are covered in your locality? How many are being covered? So that will give you a peace of mind to exactly know when you go in and get admitted as to how the insurance procedure would be like. Another thing to again check for is your limit on your room type. What that basically means is, in order to get your entire claim approved and paid back, you need to be getting your treatments done in a certain room. So, say there's the general ward, your single private room, the deluxe, the premium, the suite room. So, understand that your treatments, the calculations are pro rata according to the room that you're in. So do check if you have an upper limit on the room type in your policy as well. The fourth important decision to take is to clear off your debts. Now, that can be your student loans, your personal loans, or it could be your credit card debts. Always make sure to pay it in full, not minimum balance, full. Always aim to do so, because otherwise you're actually ending up paying more for interest. So there are two methods to do this, okay? You can either do an avalanche method or a snowball method. Very easily explained, what that means is, one says you pick the debt with the highest rate of interest, 30, 45%, you're almost paying half in just interest. Clear those off first, yes? And the other method says, no, look into the amount. Clear off the smaller ones, work yourselves up to the higher amount. Now, what this does is basically just create a sense of victory, achievement that you've cleared those off. It has the illusion of making it easier. Personally, I'd stick with the method where you pay off the ones which has the highest rate of interest. That would definitely be the option I'd pick. The last, but definitely not the least, is investing. Now, there's a reason I've picked this to be the last one, and that is because investing before setting up your emergency fund or investing before having insurance, it does not make sense to me. Now, it is arguable and debatable if you should be investing or clearing off debts. I think it requires a whole other video, but you need to do your calculations and see if that amount, if that were to be invested, are you going to be making more money? Yes, I mean, we do expect around 7 to 10% rate of return year on year, but nothing is ever guaranteed, of course. And then you've got debts on the other side, racking up in value because of the interest rates. Now, it all comes down to the type of investor you are. Will paying off your debts give you peace of mind? Do it. Money is supposed to do that for you, it's supposed to give you peace of mind. So I'd say go ahead, clear off your debts. Now, there's always this question of opportunity cost in economics. Now, can this money be used to clear off your debts or invest it so that you can make a higher return? This is something very personal. It's a personal call to take after you run your numbers. Investing is one of the best financial decisions you can make. The best time to invest was yesterday. Today is even better. Now, why is that so? It is because of this concept called compounding. What that means, in very simple terms, is your money grows in value over time if you leave it. Yes, if you leave it untouched. Even professional investment, financial investors find it very difficult to time the market, finding out the best time to buy it, best time to sell it, and they often miss the mark. And now, us being commoners and not professionals, I would say the best strategy to use is to have the time in the market. Have the most time in the market instead of timing the market. Now, what that means is, from a very long term perspective, my sort of investing is solely from the standpoint of a retirement. Now, so you give it around 20, 30, 40 years for this money to grow. It is and should be a passive income source for you. So you leave that be untouched. Keep doing your systematic investment plans, keep doing your SIPs, stay invested. Do not panic sell. Of course, I will dedicate an entire video on step by step on what are the trading platforms to use, what kind of investments to have, how to have a beautiful, diversified portfolio, and that will all be covered. But yes, you should be looking and you should take advantage of the compounding value of money. I hope this video was informative and helpful. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and please do leave your comments below. I'll definitely reply to each and every one of them. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.